Hey guys, Swisher Homestead here. Another day, another big day for the Swisher Homestead. I wanted to do a little Q&A with you real quick on spending money on the homestead and the costs. Whew. Depending if you can do all the work yourself, so be it. Wow, a lot's been going on here in the past week and a half actually. I've been super busy. I did rent a Kubota Tractor to do some work around here, to get our driveway put in, to level off some dirt, some high spots, because we had at one point back in 2013 a forestry company came in here and cleared it out pretty good and left a lot of ruts and stuff, so I had to find ways of filling that in. And there was a lot of stuff pushed up on the sides of the road, so I grabbed some of that and filled the holes in just to kind of level it off somewhat. Investment wise, if you can do it and afford it, get yourself a Kubota Tractor. You can get it from a rental company. Let me tell you right now that it's probably one of the second best investment we've made since we've been on the homestead. The number one investment that we had was having a forestry company come out and mulch. So let's talk about that, okay? So I took a lot of your guys' opinions to heart and thought about, me burning all these trees and all the stuff going up into the atmosphere, and I says, you know what, I want to do good, I want to do it right, and I want to have something that I can use on the homestead all the time. So I watched a couple of YouTube channels and I found a few things, and I found a cat chipper that comes in and chips down the trees into mulch. So as you've seen in a prior video, we had them come out, we had them chip everything down that we wanted to get rid of for the first run. And let me tell you, the best money we ever spent, bar none, to do this. It was just unbelievable. They did 2 acres in one day. It did cost a little money, but it was worth it, because the time span that it would have taken me to cut the trees down and to burn the trees and just let that go up in smoke, I was able to come out with a mammoth pile of pine and cedar chips mixed. And I have a pile over here, I'll show you in a while, that is absolutely huge. And I've got enough mulch now where we're going to use that mulch, we're going to use some of it for our composting, and we're going to use some of it for laying in the bottom of our beds, and we're going to use some of it to go around all of our trees around our lots, so we can keep the weeds down and stuff. I'll tell you what though, I have enough mulch right now to last me probably a good 5 years. Best investment we could have made, bar none. Back to the Kubota Tractor now. The Kubota Tractor is pretty good. If you're gonna get a Kubota Tractor tobacco, be sure to know what you're doing, and if you don't, I suggest to start out at low and figure out the controls before you go in. Do not go to high. High is for very experienced backhoe drivers. I go a medium. I mean, I've used front loaders and stuff before, so to me it was no big deal. But if you're not experienced and you're a little nervous, I would suggest you to just start out low. You'll get work done. Another thing about renting a piece of equipment, make sure to read the policy. The policy is very important. You will get 8 hours on a working day. You don't get 8 hours a day for 7 days. You get 8 hours a day for a 40-hour work week. That's what it is. Remember that, because you don't want to get hit with some extra money at the end saying, hey, you owe us blah, blah, blah. Another thing is fuel. Make sure that you fill these things up before they take them back, because you will pay through the nose for them. That's how they make all their money. They got to take time to fuel it. They got to take time to fuel it. Now, I will say there's a few incidents that I did like about the Kubota Tractor that I'm going to go into right now, And one is, it is not built for big guys like me. It's built for little scrawny guys. So the guy who designed it must have been a scrawny little peon, because he didn't make it very easy for a bigger guy to get in and be able to do stuff. Now, driving the tractor was no problem. This front half of the tractor was great. No problem, did well, held up really good. It's got, you know, it's got a few flaws in it that I'll go through with you that I think that they might want to change. That would only be a plus to the Kubota Tractor. It is 4-wheel drive. Had to get that here because, man, I'll tell you what, you get some muddy spots, you get some muddy spots. Now let's talk about the problematic part, all right? So we're gonna move the camera over here and I'm gonna talk to you about the problematic part. All right, this is the problematic part right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but right here is the problem, right there. One, in order to flip the seat around, this is a really big chore. All right, so you gotta flip the seat around. You flip the seat around, and the seat catches right here on the attachment add-on every time. So you got to push that down, and then you got to spin the chair around. Now another thing is that attachment add-on won't go down. So when you put the plate up, you have about 6 inches to try to slide through. Now they do put down below here, right there, they do put step-ups, but it is a big pain to step up into it. Now granted, it is a small tractor, I realize this. Controls wise is pretty good. Some of the stuff they did real cheap, like this. This is to lock it in place, so the swing arm in the back doesn't move. I mean, how cheap can you get than that? And I don't know if there was a piece on this when I got it or not, but there should be a long rubber handle with some hand grips on it to grab to be able to adjust it and move it. So every time that I was digging a hole, I had to put the arms down, stabilizers down, had to step up and climb in, sit down, do my dig, get up. You know, they have the space for the tire wells here. My idea is to move this out a little bit more and give yourself enough room to where you could spin around. And they've got the room. I mean, look at how far this thing sticks off of the... You just take this whole assembly, move it over, you'd be able to spin around if you did that on both sides. So that would be something I would definitely change with this. As far as being a workhorse, this thing is a monster on the homestead. It's a real monster. I mean, it does its job. It's done a really good job for us. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to down their situation with Kubota. Kubota is a pretty good piece of equipment. I just think there's areas that need improvement. Things that would make it easier on bigger guys. I mean, you can understand, not everybody is a small guy. If you do this for a bigger guy, well, what does that do? That gets your sales up. So Kubota, if you're listening to me, if you're watching this, please figure out a way to widen it a little so you can spin that chair around. You got probably, I don't know, let's see, you probably got a good foot that you can widen this, and a foot's a lot of area to spin that chair around. And try to figure out something a little bit better than with this plate that you got sitting there, because that plate that's sitting there is kind of, I get in there close. See this? This right here? And look, this, I mean, you can't really do much there. And the plate sits just like that. I don't know. But I think that's a bad design on their part, and I think they need to figure out how to fix it. But other than that, if they widen this right here, I think it would work out great. Well, I will say this. It's been a workhorse. It's done its job. It was worth every penny. Would I think about buying one? I don't know if I'd buy one. I think I'd find out if they could widen this up a little bit more and make it for bigger guys. Then I might think about actually investing and buying one of these with the attachments. The bucket on the back is sweet. I mean, it really does its job. Not like you're going to use that all the time, but you never know, you know. I use this, believe it or not, to dig holes for my fence posts, because we have so many trees and so many stumps and so many roots that if I was out there with a post hole digger, I'd be there forever. I dug all my holes in an hour, 16 holes in an hour. And I'm going to be digging some more tomorrow. I got another, what I think, 15 to do tomorrow. I'll do that in about an hour. And you can use this to dig a footer around your house. So I plan on doing that also. So we got a lot in store for this little Kubota tractor. This little Kubota tractor here has, let me show you what it's done so far. So let's go on the walk of walks. All right, so we did our area for where the house is going to be laid out at. And then I've done the road that's coming in. Now, as you can see, all the stuff's been taken out, the fence posts been put in. You know, we've been doing a lot of work here on the homestead. And this has all happened within a week and a half. Now, let's get back to the tree situation. So we had the forestry company come out. We had them do their thing. And guess what? This is what I'm left with. All of that mulch right there. None of it will go to waste. You burn in a tree, it's gonna go to waste. But you use the mulch, you can use it for everything. You put it around your house. Another thing it's really good for is if you got any ruts, real bad ruts around your homestead that you're driving in your truck, throw that mulch in there, and let me tell you, man, it does wonders. It fills that right in. Now it's gonna break down in time, but it'll fill in that mud hole enough to where you can pack that stuff in there pretty good and kind of get some grip. So don't even forget that either. Little tidbit of info. But yeah, so we've done a lot on the homestead. Got the place for the house, I've already got that ready. Now I gotta start digging the footer for it. I was over here and I did dug out some holes for some fence posts for our garden, because we're doing an enclosed garden right off of our chicken coop, which is, you know, gonna work out real well. And we'll also have our compost piles close to the garden also. So kind of give you an idea of what I got to dig through. That is what I had to dig through. Look at the size of this mammoth. And then this stump. I mean, all this stuff that I would have had to try to dig through with a post hole digger would have never worked out. And if you got a pole, we got a gas powered hole, whatever you want to call it, all that stuff would have gotten tangled up in there. So I got that. These are all set, done. These are all down deep enough to where I can get to them, where I can use the post hole digger. Now we also have dug our holes right there for our garden. We're going to set those, pour concrete in there so it'll last. Then we also done the fence posts, which run all the way down there. So we got a lot of stuff going on in the homestead. Man, it's been a busy week and a half. And believe it or not, I'm pretty beat right now. I did do something else though. I shaved the melon. Let me tell you, it gets hot. You don't want to have that melon covered in all that long hair and be hot. I'll let it grow from now probably until winter, and then I'll do it again like I did this year. I'll shave it all off. But that thing is, look, it's pretty gone. But I just kind of want to give you guys a heads up, show you what we're doing. You know, wow, YouTube's been kind of tough on us lately. We haven't gotten a lot of followers, you know, but it takes time. It didn't happen overnight. I know this. So YouTube's kind of been a little fickle with us lately. You know, it takes a lot to get you guys out there to watch the videos, to put your time in so they can give us our time. We're still trying to get our address for it so we can put it up on our page so it's easier for everybody to find, but you got to have 100 followers. And the only way we're going to get 100 followers is if you guys tell your friends Tell your buddies on Facebook. Come in there, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and let me tell you, that thumbs up will really help us out also. The more thumbs up you get, the higher base that your video will be placed at. So, hey, it only takes a second, it's free. I'm not asking for anything. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for freebies. All I'm asking for is you hit the subscribe button, you hit that like button, make sure that thumbs up. Get us on the map and let people experience what you get to experience with us. You know, it's just me and my wife doing this. Left the concrete jungle, moved out to the country, been here for 3 months, a little over 3 months, and we're doing it. And you can do it too. But there's a lot of things you have to think about when you're deciding to do this. And, you know, your relationship with your wife or your husband has to be strong and faithful. And, you know, just remember, my favorite saying, everything will get done, just take little bites. Because eventually, you'll finish it. Things don't happen overnight. They don't happen over years. I mean, you look at some of these YouTubers out there, they're homesteaders, they've been working on their Luma Acres, for instance. I like him, he's awesome. You know, they've been doing theirs, I think, almost 15 years to get where they're at. So it didn't just happen overnight. Doug and Stacy, they're another one. It just didn't happen overnight for them either. You know, little steps, but, you know, of course, they had a house, the makers, they had a house that they had to rebuild. You know, Doug and Stacy, they did their house, they built their house, but the barn was already there, the land was already cleared, and they already had some pastures, you know, and the basis they had the pastures. Doug had to put up some fence and stuff, but, you know, everybody has certain things, and there's certain value in their land. Me and Amy, we started off with a wooded lot, wooded almost 9 acres, and we're doing it all ourselves. So we take a little bit of money every month and we allocate it to certain things that we need to have done. And right now it was to get the paddock done in the front, get our garden finished, start working on our house, and then we can start working on some other stuff like my wood shed, my outdoor kitchen I'm going to build. I had a really cool idea for an outdoor kitchen. I'm a retired chef, so you know my kitchen is going to be pretty spot on. A lot of things going on here. We got so many things. Our cistern water system, you'll get to see us put that in. That's going to be a compile of probably about a total of on demand of 1,500 gallons all the time. So, and we can show you guys how to do that and how we're going to run everything, and you guys will get to learn that stuff. So we got a lot of stuff coming up, but next video coming up is the driveway. You guys got to watch driveway getting put in. Yours truly is going to be doing it all. I'm a one-man army, and let me tell you, my body feels like it. So at that point, guys, I want to just say I appreciate it. Thank you very much for all your time. Thanks a lot for the support, for what people have subscribed so far. We really appreciate it. And tell your friends, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up, and hey, God bless you guys. We'll see you later. Till the next time, have a good one.